Hello, hello, and welcome back to day number 5 of 12 days of Christmas crafting. I am Danny Garola, also known as Pink Barn Stamper, coming to you with our fabulous 12 days of crafting advent calendar. We are going to open up day number 5 today. If you have missed the other 4, you can go back and watch those. But let's drum roll. Let's open up day number 5. Let's get her opened here. Yeah, we've already opened up some fabulous product. What in the world do we have here? Oh, we've got stencils. Oh my goodness. Wow, they really went all out with this. And we've got a nice little brush here. Oh, and these all, oh, look at there. Those go together. So they're numbered. Oh, that's so when we lay them down. Oh, I like when they do that. See how these layer on top of each other? So you would do like one first, then you would, on your paper, you would do your little notch. So you make sure that you're lining them up on top of each other. You've got 2, 3, and then 4. So how cool is that? If you can see here, we've got the flower, and then you've got some, this, I can see this in purple already in my mind. And then if you were to take this one here, this would go over that flower to make that the stem for that then. Oh, I see so many possibilities ahead for this one. That is fabulous. All right, well, I look like I have to do some crafting now. How cool. Or I could actually see that kind of in yellow. I don't know. Lots of possibilities. So that was in box number 5. Woohoo! We are trucking right along. Here is that stamp set that goes with that. This is available in my online store, shopdannygarola.com. You will find the 12 days of crafting advent. Now that is an all occasion advent calendar. And speaking of calendars, we are actually for day number 5 for the 12 days of Christmas crafting. I am going to be making a fabulous pocket easel calendar for you guys. These make great little gifts. So what we're going to start out with, this is 11 by 4 1/4, and we have scored this at 5 1/2. So just a regular card base for this one. I was going to say I just had, there it is, my bone folder. So there is our, this is going to be our easel part. Our base. Then our next piece that we're going to need to create a little easel for this. Now, my designer series paper that I have decided to go with, I am using Blackberry Bliss for my base. And then the paper that I am using, this comes in, this is retired. This is Regal Winter paper. Very beautiful, elegant papers in this. So I'm bringing this piece in. This is 4 by 5 1/4, and then that's just going to go right on the front there. Our next piece that we need, this is going to be the easel mechanism for this. We are going to need a 4 by 4 piece. And what we're going to do with this 4 by 4 is we're going to score this at 1/2 inch on each side. So I'm going to flip that around and do 1/2 inch on this side as well. And then I'm going to move that over and do 2 inch. So right in the center of my little 4 by 4. So now, again, we've got 1/2 inch, flip it around, 1/2 inch, and then 2 inch right in the center. Okay, so for this, we're going to fold the center right in half. Give it a good score. And then with our 2 little 1/2 inch pieces, we're going to flip those up. Just like that. Okay, we're going to need to grab some tear and tape. Let's go ahead and get this adhered straight onto our base. I love this paper. It's got those pretty blues in there, but then you get just a hint of this Blackberry Bliss in there. And boy, is it very elegant. So let's put this on. We just need regular glue for that. Okay, now with our little mechanism here, we're going to put some tear and tape on that. So I'm going to put some tear and tape going right across this small little 1/2 inch piece. Flip that over and do the same thing to the other side. Okay, we're going to pull that side off first. Okay, I'm going to take that, I'm going to open up my base here, and I'm going to not go exactly to the edge, but I'm going to give myself maybe about 1/8 of an inch up and place that on there. Now, as you can see, I do have about 1/4 of an inch on each side here. Now with this one, I'm going to go ahead and pull that off for this side. And holding that down, I'm just going to press that. There we go. Give that a good adhesion, push. And there is my easel. As you can see, we have like this little W shape that holds that standing straight up. Isn't that fabulous? Okay, so from the side, you can see that our little 1/2 inch, then we go up to our 2, back down, and then our little 1/2 inch. So that's what's going to hold our little pocket easel up. Now we're going to need to bring our score tool out again. I actually ordered some of these little calendars. These are off of Amazon. So I got a whole package of these. I can't remember. I think there was like 15, 20 of them in there. I know that bag is a horrible sound, but just so you see those. Then I've got this piece of Blackberry Bliss. This is 5.5 by 4.5. We are going to turn this on the 5.5, and we are going to score this. We are going to score this at 2.5. And I already have my line scored, so I make sure I get this correct. So 2.5, and then move it over to 3. And then score that as well on 3. Then we're going to flip this to our 4.5 side, and we are going to score 1/2 inch on each side. So just go to 1/2 inch, line that up, score that, do a complete flip and 1/2 inch, and go ahead and score again. Okay. This is going to be our little pocket. So we're going to go ahead and fold that up, fold that up, fold our sides up. Now what we want to do with this is we want to cut these little flaps right here. So just cut right up to our 1/2 inch score line there. And again. And then I'm going to kind of wedge these out just a bit, like so. So on that little wedge, or on that little flap there, I'm just wedging out to that score line. So as you can see, when this lays flat, you can see that it's been a little bit wedged out of those. That's so this stays a little bit flatter in there. So then what I'm going to do on one side, I'm going to decide what side I want, what looks a little bit better. I think I'm going to use this as the front. So back here, I'm going to lay this down and I'm going to take my tear and tape and I'm going to cover that whole area because that is what is going to stick to. And now just the center. I'm not doing the outsides yet. Not my little 1/2 inch flaps, just the inside diameter. Okay. Now, to keep my little pocket, I think I might actually go ahead and adhere those. Now, knowing that this is the back of my box, I want my front flaps to go over the back flaps because it just keeps my sides a little bit smoother and cleaner. So that's where I know I'm going to bring my tear and tape and put down the side here. Same with over here. Now, knowing that this is my front, I'm going to go ahead and hold this up like this. I have another piece of designer series paper. Now this is 3 3/8 by 2 7/16. Now this is where my little calendar comes into place because then my 7/16 is right in between my 1/2 inch and my 3/8 inch. So that's where I got the measurement for that. And what I did was I simply measured my calendar because my calendar is then going to adhere to that. Like so. And then that is going to go right in the center area of that. Isn't that pretty? I love it. And I love the front of this where it has these little flowers. So I'm going to go ahead and get this adhered on there. Now I was kind of trying to figure out if I kind of liked what pattern, but I think I'm going to keep it with that. Now, the best way to see if we like it is kind of just lay that down. Maybe that's too much. Nope, I think I am going to go with this side. So that's when you have choices. When you use double-sided paper and they match, you can decide which side of that paper you want to have seen. Okay. Just like so. Now let's go ahead and get the sides pulled out on this. I'm going to do one side at a time, pushing that little flap in, and then bringing my little box together here. Now it's kind of hard because your box wants to stick to your hands. And then just getting that squared up there. And this is where you're going to want to lay your box down and take your bone folder and rub that inside of there to give that a good adhesion. Okay, the next side, we want that little flap to go inside. Nope, we want this inside first. So let's pull off that tear and tape backing. Flap that down. And square that up. Okay. Again, bringing in my bone folder, giving that a good push. I guess your finger can fit down in there without ruining anything. You can run your finger down that. So there is the front. So this is going to go right like so on our card. Now I'm not going all the way to the bottom. I am leaving it up just a skosh. Now the best way to get this onto my back here is to grab my Post-it note, place that Post-it note inside of there. So then I have something to really kind of push down with. So now that my Post-it note is inside of there, I'm going to take the backing off of this little box. and center that, watching my sides, and push that down. Okay, I can take that out now, come back in with my bone folder and give that a good smash. There is my perfect little box there and my easel. Now with my calendar, I'm going to come back in with some tear and tape, put this on the back of my calendar. Okay. Put our Post-it note back inside the pocket, so we've got that backing there. Flip our calendar around, push that back in there. And again, centering that on there. We're going to just push that into place. We can take our bone folder and kind of pull up on a couple of those, push that down. Don't push too hard so you don't ruin the seal that's up here at the top. Okay, there is our calendar. Now, we've got some space in here, so what I've done is I've went to Amazon and I've bought these little pins, and my little pin fits in there just perfectly, just like that. So now this will stand. I got to open it up just a little bit because my Post-it note's a little bit heavy. But then I've got the perfect little easel Post-it. So if your recipient needs to make notes, they have a pin, they've got their Post-it, and they've got the calendar for our next upcoming year. Isn't that fabulous? Oh, I love it. And it really displays that beautiful designer series paper as well. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me for day number 5 of our 12 days of Christmas crafting. I will see you tomorrow for day number 6. Thanks. Bye-bye.